This is the Seahawkers podcast, live and uncatfished. The Seahawks get the week 1 win over those dirty Denver Broncos, 17-16. The Seahawks leading the NFC West. We're putting the Broncos on pace to give us the first pick overall in the 2023 draft. Adam, it couldn't have gone any better.
It could have got a little better. The offense could have not sputtered in the second half. But with that said, if I'm kind of struggling between two things right now, to be a gloater or a gracious loser, and I want to try to straddle the line a little bit. But that's exactly what we needed, man. Like, we all just catfishing needed it. We just did.
We needed it.
And it was so fun to watch Pete Ball win out against Russ Ball. That was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, fun is one word that you could use to describe not scoring any points in the second half, but it was fun the way it ended up working out because, man, did this end in about the wildest way imaginable? I mean, Russell Wilson on the field, 4th and 5, and the coach passes up an opportunity to go for it on 4th down, taking the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands and saying, I have more faith in my kicker to kick it 64 yards than I do in my quarterback to pick up a first down in this critical moment.
How about the lack of situational awareness by Nathaniel Hackett to use his timeouts to actually give them a chance there close to the 4th down? How's that coaching upgrade, Russ? How is it? Such a big upgrade.
I don't understand it. I mean, with the amount of timeouts, I was thinking, okay, well, even though they did run it down, I mean, Russell Wilson was taking it down to the double zeros multiple times throughout the game. And it was a little bit surprising when in that moment at the end that they allowed it to go down to about 20 seconds. And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe they're counting on picking up the first down on this 4th down play. You take another chance at the sideline and you set yourself up for the game-winning field goal with, I don't know, a 50-yard field goal, not a 64-yard field goal, which, thanks, Pete, by the way, for giving us the additional heart attack of watching him miss it as you take the timeout, allowing him to kick it again. But thank goodness it still was wide left.
Yeah, those ones, the freezing the kicker timeouts, they're like kind of 50-50 at best. So whatever. I wasn't so mad about that. I was mad about the challenge. That was dumb, but whatever. That's still fine too. But at the end of the day, this is where I want to be a little more gracious in my losing. And to Facebook user, suck it, Bronco Jared. We definitely had some conversation throughout the game. We'll get to that. But with all of that, man, at the end of the day, the Broncos more beat themselves today than we beat them. They really did. A lot of really dumb penalties, a couple bad fumbles on the goal line. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, we got it. We got the win. But, I mean, these are the types of games that we're going to be in throughout the course of the year. I mean, we're going to have to win exactly like this. And all those little things won't always go your way. A team won't always beat itself that way.
Thanks to our live executive producer, Ryan911 with the $9.99 super chat. Gino, hearing the Gino chants throughout the night, more so in the first half than the second half. But how about Geno Smith coming out and putting some points up on the board, hitting Colby Parkinson, hitting Will Dissly for touchdowns. And yeah, got the Seahawks out in front of Russ early, and just they were able to ride that lead out, count on the defense. I don't know, like you said, I don't know if we're going to be able to count on the defense to get 2 goal line stops with different running backs fumbling the football at the goal line. That's going to be a little bit difficult to count on game after game, but overall, very fun.
Was very fun. Another thing with the defense, the pass rush actually looked pretty good. They got a lot of pressure on Russ throughout the game, and honestly should have stopped a couple of those drives that didn't get stopped because they were just holding like crazy and they wouldn't call it, and that's fine. And a lot of Bronco fans are going to be like, oh, the refs were, all the bad calls against us. It's like, yeah, most of those were actually pretty good calls. And at the end of the day, like, if you balance out a couple of them non-holding calls, we're probably in the same boat. But the offense in the second half, that was probably one of the more frustrating things. Just watching them, kind of sputter out, and a lot of that had to do with Cross struggling a little bit in the second half. That's a welcome to the league rookie moment presented by Bradley Chubb,
right?
And those are going to happen.
Tariq Woolen getting burned. Although taking penalties, Woolen took the penalties. It was Kobe that got burned for the one touchdown.
Damn, that should have been a pick.
I know.
Russ should have had 3 picks in this game.
He got as hard as he had to work to overcome the let's ride curse in this game. He did get away with a few picks. The Jamal Adams one that hit him in the face mask, the over the shoulder Quandre Diggs pass that he should have caught for an interception. And the one that you just mentioned there. Yeah,
and that's the thing is he didn't overcome the let's ride curse because he catfishing lost. You lost. And we are first place in the NFC West. I'm going to gloat all day about that and all week because it might be the only week we get to do it. And it feels catfishing good, people.
Shout out to the Stringer family checking in all the way from the UK. See, our UK flockers late. Staying up and watching the Monday Night Football game. This is hardcore fans in the UK for this game.
I love you, JC. Miss you guys for sure. But yeah, I'm all smiles, man. I'm all smiles. We no matter what happens the rest of the year, like this, we kind of just needed this, right? In a lot of ways. And then also too, watching the team be competitive, like legitimately competitive against a team that all the people in the national media are like, they're the best in the world. Good luck. They're winning the Super Bowl. They have got Russ now, blah, 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 blah. And to come out and actually be more than competitive. We've won.
Nobody's going to say that the Seahawks got gifted a win, except maybe, hurt Broncos fans that point to penalties. And but this really was, I mean, how could you be mad as a Broncos fan when so much of this loss was of your own doing, coach wise, penalty wise? Because a lot of those penalties, sure, you could say they were ticky tack, but a lot of them were legit and came at terrible moments for the Broncos. Legit. Fumbles coming at terrible moments for the Broncos. Decision at the end of the game by the coach to go for a 64-yard field goal. They are going to be talking about that for the rest of the week. That's going to be all over national media now.
Oh, it is. It is. And I think the fun part about this for Seahawks fans too is everybody's like, you chose Pete over Russ. You guys are freaking crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Pete is a hell of a coach. This is an exact example of that. He had them coached up, ready to go. They performed at their best, even with the mistakes. And I mean, they even overcame the curse of the lime green jerseys, even with the Jamal Adams injury.
There was the Jamal Adams injury, yes, and Cody looked like he went down pretty hard toward the end. I don't know what the status is of Cody.
He's okay. He said he was okay about 7 times.
It looked like it was like a grass burn because it ripped up his pants, and he was maybe giving the team a little bit of a timeout. So let's see. There was, you worry about Jamal. And I thought there was it Harris that went down, but he got up and he was okay.
He came back in.
That was right around because he had he got the pressure on Russ there on one of those late drives. So thanks to Tita Cat coming in for the super chat. Amy Holmes also coming in. Thanks for creating such a great community that lets us all come together. My
sister from another mother right there. Amy Holmes. Absolutely.
She's always crushing it in the Discord. So yes, if you're not a member of the flock, Design Pete's Beach House in the Discord.
Yeah, you're missing out because if you're wondering what I'm thinking, just look at whatever Amy writes. It's probably exactly what I'm thinking.
Chris Brubaker coming in. We may never lose again. That's right.
Yeah.
Gino 17-0. Here we go.
Either way, but I'm relishing this. Yeah. Let's take it in for a moment. No doubt about
offensively, it. There's one thing I could have seen a little bit more of from the Seahawks offensively in the second half. And that was Rashad Penny. 12 carries, 60 yards on the day. Geno Smith, 6 carries, 14 yards. I feel like we could have the offense. It definitely struggled in the second half, and so to see that output, I mean, I would have expected them to run the ball, and really that's I think what helped drive them early on. Geno Smith finish the game. Man, he was on a tear to start the game. He finished 23 of 28 for 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. But there was at one point in the game, what was it, 16, 17 straight completions? Or had one incompletion? It's crazy.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, Geno was flawless in the first half. You got to tip your cap to him. And then not only that, how satisfying is it to have a quarterback now that is playing for the team and not necessarily himself? I mean, you saw him on some of those runs, and while that's scary and you want him to get down a little bit here and there, he wasn't having it tonight. No, thank you. Like, he's whatever it takes. This is his first opportunity in 8 years to start opening day. I mean, boy, Troy and Buck, they made sure to let us know. But yeah, I really enjoyed go for it, Geno. That was fun. The run game did, I would say struggle, but it wasn't so much that they struggled. It's that
they went away
more
from
like
it.
Pete was like,
yeah,
you know what, catfish, you guys, we're going to pass the ball a little bit more than we run, and you can all suck on it, and we're still going to win playing Pete ball. Eat it.
Dark Light coming in with a super chat. What a game to start the season. Keep up the great work, just like the Hawks did tonight. And want to shout out what the smell here. Michael Jackson went hard. Right too. Holy smokes. Did he have some tackles in this game?
Dude, and some PBUs.
Yeah.
Like, Mike Jackson was impressive. He was impressive. And that felt like the boom, right? That felt a little like Richard Sherman being out there and laying the shoulder to some guys. Like, that was really cool to see. I thought Woolen competed well. I really do. I understand that he got the 2 penalties, and he really competed hard. And to Joe, yeah, there's certain nights where the liquid death is just right. Exactly. Got to murder your thirst. But tonight, I'm drinking victory beer, smoking victory cigars, baby. It's a good time.
Yeah, Cody Barton had his moments. Alonia 143. He had some moments where I was yelling at the TV screen a little bit, but he had a big hit on Russ for the sack. He had some nice moments. Yeah. Was
it fun to watch the defense play a little more aggressively? Because it was to me.
It was.
Clint Hurt dialed up a aggressive game plan,
especially on third down. Now the aggressiveness on third down. Now, the weird thing is that they were aggressive on third down, I think expecting Russ to hold the ball a little bit. And we saw Russ taking the checkdowns in those third and shorts and picking up those short yardage, easier, taking the dump off pass.
Okay. So here's a portion of this live reaction show where I eat a little bit of crow. Sure. Because it's true.
We could do that.
I got on and put out a video about some things that Broncos fans will never see in their offense again. And they talked about a number of different things you didn't see, by the way, like middle of the field throws for the most part and things of that nature. But boy, he worked on a screen game in the offseason and the check down game. You can tell. There was a couple of those are ones that he overthrew on the regular with us, and with the defense bearing down on him and kind of flipping it up and over, and he was better at it.
Yeah.
And tip of the cap. And to Russ on that.
Although we can tip the cap, but I think we can still pretty confidently say that come week, 6, 7 of this season, if you're not seeing success routinely with those types of plays, Russ is going to go away from it.
I'm not saying that this is going to be it's going to be all year. I expect the first half of the season, Russell Wilson, and we got him. This is about the best you get out of Russ. And one of the more cathartic things, too, to come out of this game was how late they were on the play clock so often throughout this entire game. How many times throughout the last few years, Brandon, have you and I sit and harped on that? Where Geno gets up to the line, everything is processed, and now they've got 15 seconds to figure out what they're doing.
He had way more play clock awareness than I remember. Well, even in this game, seeing it from Russ, it was a very stark contrast between the two. Like Geno, you could tell when it got down to 4-3, I didn't have to tell him to look at the play clock because he was already looking and clapping his hands to kind of tell people to hurry up. He wasn't waiting until it clicked down to 1 or 2 seconds.
Absolutely. Save some timeouts, all that stuff. And to Tuna Cat, man, I mean, about that 64-yard field goal. Let's talk special teams. Special teams are special. Special teams coverage was amazing. they destroyed dudes, man. And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the Discord call out the fact that all the running backs on special teams, you saw Travis Homer making a big play. You saw DJ Dallas having some nice returns, getting to the 30 and the 35 yard line here pretty routinely. So yeah, we saw a couple nice moments from the running backs on special teams. We didn't see Michael Dixon hardly at all for the entire game. Yeah. So that was nice.
Yeah. Hey, and shout out to Chris too, man. Like, thank you so much for the super chat. And then, the little logo thing here, man. Do you remember, Brandon, which of the little flockers sent that to us many years ago?
I would have to go back in our email because it has been a few years now since one of the flockers sent that in.
They're freaking dope, dude.
They are.
I just big shout out to that dude. I can't believe I can't remember his name. I feel like crap for not.
It was
for
5 years ago,
that.
Dude.
I mean, it's up in my game, man. So yeah.
There we go. Bam Cakes coming in with $13.99 Canadian. Michael Jackson moonwalking all over Denver's offense. Go Hawks. Love from Ontario, Canada. Bam Cakes staying up late watching the game.
Hell yeah, man. Much love back. And the defense was a little boomy and it was dynamic, but you could see they definitely played the way that we thought they'd play. A lot of too high looks, making sure that they take away the sidelines, and they left the middle of the field open for Russ, and he took advantage of it on about 2 or 3 occasions, much as you're going to get out of Russ. And I just thought the game plan was good, and Clint Hurt was steady.
Yeah, I was happy with the defensive performance. I was especially happy with the fact that they were able to get those turnovers in critical times down at the goal line. Time of possession, though, a little bit more in favor of the Broncos in this game. They had it for almost 34 minutes and 26 minutes for the Seahawks. But I think a big part of that was the third quarter and Russ taking them on long drives there in that third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, Russ getting bailed out by holding calls. You bet. Yeah, it really helped their time of possession out. It surely did.
Yeah. Well, penalties, 12-5. The Seahawks still had 77 penalty yards at the end. I think a lot of that came from that Tariq Woolen pass interference call toward the end, which he didn't even need to do.
Exactly. Exactly. But he didn't know. You can't know that. You expect Russ to put that on the money, but, he didn't. So there's that.
Jay Owens giving us an injury update. Jamal Adams, a quad tendon tear, and he gets it going after the quarterback, Russell Wilson.
I wonder what the timeline for a quad tendon tear is. That doesn't feel season ending, but it could be.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on how badly it's torn.
Man, just bad luck for Jamal, man.
According to Phil, it's a long recovery, but we'll wait and see. That's tough for Jamal, man. That's a
lot of high hopes, and I know he was ready to rock for this season, and he's put in so much work, and he's tried to get his body right. And a lot of people will still call that trade a bust, but like at the end of the day, I mean, it's not like Jamal's going out there and trying to get hurt.
Oh no,
he's not.
No,
I mean, I can't blame him for just being a little brittle. I mean, health is a part of talent, of course, and being out on the field is a big deal. 4 to 6 months, man. I don't know.
4 to 6 months from Miles, 6 weeks minimum from Chris. So Chris says Google says 4 to 6 months. So
I see.
Okay. Garen coming in. When do we move on from Jamal? Well, I think this will give us an idea what this defense is going to look like now for the next, at least 6 weeks, I'm going to say. Other people saying a minimum of 4 months, but Chris saying partial ruptures, maybe as low as 4 weeks. So let's just say we'll be without him likely for the next 6 weeks. And so we're going to have to see, we saw Josh out there.
Josh Jones and Ryan Neal. Ryan Neal wasn't in the game, but between those two guys, right? I don't feel like we're totally boned from an Adams injury. Are we better with Jamal Adams? I think so.
Yeah. It would make a difference. Lisa coming in. I'm so happy I control my work Bronco friends tomorrow. It's made my month.
My God, Lisa. I gotta go on a job with Bronco Jared this weekend, and I'm kind of hoping too that maybe the Friday night that we get in, maybe him and I will sit down and record something for you guys. He seems excited about doing it, even after the loss and all that. But one of the best parts of my night that I had was every time me and Jared had competed at anything, cornhole, whatever, it don't matter. Like if one of us, whoever wins the last game, you're current champion. And so I got to text Jared after this game, current champion.
Current champion.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any Bronco friends at work, you can just go into Adam's comment video with all of the Broncos fans who are calling Adam salty, and you can just have your way with all the Broncos fans there who are commenting on Adam's video.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to how the little flockers think I should handle the rest of that comment section after this game. Like, should I? Because I kept the gloves on.
Yeah.
Throughout this week, do I take gloves off and be mean, comment at him, or do I just be gracious, comment at him? What do you guys think? I'm curious.
You could be passive aggressive at him and just go through and do the heart comment on every one of the Broncos comments.
Yeah, I'm not passive aggressive, man. That's not how I roll. I either need to go for it or be genuine and just like being a gracious loser.
I feel like this comes up every show.
Man, it's a freaking cigar, dude. This is a Swisher Sweet.
Adam likes his Swisher Sweets.
It's victory, baby.
It's victory.
Yeah.
El Quadrato.
El Quadrato, man. Yeah.
€4.99 coming in from Germany. Big crooked middle finger to the Broncos.
Yeah. What a great comment, man. Solid. I know it's late for you, man. Like, way to be up.
Meet Adam.
Mean Adam. Okay, well, maybe I'm warming up to it. Trust me. I took enough slings and arrows.
You did, but I feel like you've earned this dub. And yes,
maybe.
That's
you know, a little bit. I mean,
let's go, won. Ray. What a win.
Catfish. And let's go. Hell yeah, man. Whew. That's a high. That is a high as a Seahawks fan. I think we can all agree. No doubt about it. But even still, at the end of the third quarter, I don't know if you felt like this, Brandon. I'd be interested on your take. I felt at the end of the third quarter, I was like, you know what? No matter what happens from here forward, like, I'm super stoked.
No,
like,
I wanted to win.
This team is competitive.
No, I wanted to win.
Well, I wanted to win, but like, I felt at peace at that point, rather than, you know, knowing you're going to get like run off the field and blowed out and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, the good thing, you know, Russ, if he just wants to point to his stat line, I mean, 29 of 42, 340 yards, 1 touchdown. So
a lot of good yards there, Russ. Congratulations on your yards.
He out-yarded the crap out of the Seahawks defense.
Sure did. Yeah. Yards matter a lot, don't they?
They matter for something.
Yeah, fantasy.
Yes, let's go back to this by Jacob, because I don't think that this can be said enough. How about kicking a 64-yard field goal with time on the clock and timeouts left? Isn't this why Russ left us? No trust in your Hall of Fame quarterback. You just paid. Let's Ride curse has begun.
It kind of has, right? I mean, remember reading these articles this last week about Russ fuming in the Falcons game or something like that, where he felt like he could have had more opportunities to try to grab the MVP and that sort of thing and all that. How do you think Russ feels after this game when the coach literally refused to put the ball in his hands and on the foot of his kicker from 60-odd some catfishing yards? He doesn't believe in you, bud. He doesn't.
No. And that's going to be it. That is going to be an obvious talking point. We talked about the belief in the 49ers quarterback because they re-signed Jimmy G. I mean, these are the types of things that player look. If Russell Wilson is going to get all bent out of shape over John Schneider going and looking at quarterbacks like Josh Allen around the time of the draft, do you not think that this is going to bother him at all?
I think that the odds are catfishing low. That's for sure. There's no way that Russ goes home to his 14 bathrooms tonight at his house and is like, oh, I feel so great about Nathaniel Hackett's confidence in me late in the game. He's going to be stewing on this one.
Oh, he's got to be.
I can't wait to listen to the post-game pressers I really can't. That's the one downside to doing these shows right after is getting those immediately because I know what Russ is going to say, but I know what Russ is feeling.
Okay, I was thinking about this, and if you're a Seahawks beat reporter, do you not skip out on the Seahawks press conference to go over and ask Russ questions after a loss like this? I feel like I would. If I were a Seahawks beat writer, I think I would do that.
I think that's a baller move. I think that'd be a baller move. Absolutely. Because you've got all the ammo that the Denver beat writers don't have. And not only that, but talking to Bronco Jared over the years, the Denver football media they're so delusional. So that might be the move. You'd go and always compete. You'd show all of them up real quick.
Okay. I saw the comment on Geno for president, but how about our new center for president, because he had a huge play in this game. Austin Blythe. I have to give some credit. Okay, you ate crow before. I'll eat some crow now. Yeah. Austin Blythe with the heads up play as Rashad Penny breaking away on a long run down the field, and there he was to clean up the strip of Rashad Penny right there to fall on the ball, keep that drive alive.
Hey, it showed his hustle, right? He was downfield and ready to rock for that.
And I didn't see a whole lot of bad out of Austin Blythe this game.
Oh, really? So you're saying he might just be like a pretty good center, like a decent center?
He might be a decent center.
Oh, okay. I just was double checking, but I think that does lead to a conversation about Penny in this game. And he didn't have a ton of opportunities. He didn't.
No.
But there were a couple really nice runs, and then a few that were this close to popping, and you could see him. He'd pop up and be like, it was right freaking there. I think throughout the season, if he can stay healthy, that rhythm is going to come, and you could see it coming to him in this game. And they really leaned on Geno in this game, surprisingly so.
Yeah.
And later on down the season, as Penny gets his rhythm, you won't have to rely on Geno quite as much, and that'll be a complementary force. And I think this team can be scary that way.
There were some throws and plays that they ran with Geno that I don't remember seeing out of Russ so much. Some of those quick timing type throws.
Timing ones.
Yeah, those are fun.
Those are fun. Playing on rhythm and in time and taking advantage of the scheme. And Waldron had a good game. You have to give him props. Like, he had a good game overall.
Got a little slow in the
things
third quarter.
that stalled them in the second half were penalties and things like that.
Okay. Pop quiz from the chat. Best catch of the game.
Oh, that one that DK just ripped out of the hands of Surtain.
That was good.
That was fun. That was a man's catch.
JR has another answer, though.
Okay.
Charles Cross. As Geno Smith taking the sack, he just plucks it out of the air after Bradley Chubb. No, I feel like
least he could do.
Yeah, he made up for it. But you would prefer not to put Charles Cross in that position to make that play.
Look, Bradley Chubb is a top 15 pass rusher in this league, if not top 10, depending on who you talk to. And that's a hell of a welcome to the NFL rookie moment right there. And hey, man, I enjoyed Lucas throughout this game. I thought the tackles performed well. I think they are going to be just fine. They're keepers, man.
As much as it hurt seeing those 2 sacks in the second half that came with Bradley Chubb going up against Charles Cross, those are the things I think we can hope. The hope is playing these rookies in games like this on Monday night and them being good. That's what they can grow from and say, okay, well, I messed up a little, but I did, for the most part, dude handled Bradley Chubb throughout the game and Randy Gregory on the opposite side. So I feel like coming out of a game like this, that should give the tackles a ton of confidence.
Well, yeah, give all the credit to Lucas, right? Randy Gregory was a non-factor except for the fumble, which was not on Lucas. Obviously, that was way down the field. So I think that was a really awesome performance by him out of the gate. And he has an interesting idea here. I think Pete's challenge when the game slowed them down. I'm not sure I would agree with that.
I sometimes wonder, and maybe it's just because I'm giving Pete Carroll extra credit as being a longtime head coach. But yeah, does he take those moments thinking that, well, it's going to be a timeout anyway? I can challenge the call, and either whatever happens with the officiating, the crowd is going to be fired up either way.
Maybe so. I think our track record with Pete and the challenges isn't great. I mean, he wastes those on the regular. No, dude, he has to wear the Karen jersey forever. There's a whole story behind that, Alex, and maybe
this is
you
not
don't
a Sidney
know
Rice jersey, Alex.
Yeah. But we can catch you up on it if you want. Like, no worries. But like, no, he needs to wear that bad boy. Pete's history with the challenges isn't exactly great, and they're just a QB away. Man, the chat thing like actually kind of screws me up, but it's great though. Like, I appreciate you, Dustin, executive
I had to
producer.
bring this one up just because it made me laugh.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Dustin with the super salty comment coming back. Yeah. MVP race. Who is in the lead? Russell Wilson or Geno Smith?
Dustin, I want to know, can I use that? I'll credit you when I'm chatting back at some Broncos fans here this week in the comment section.
That's why he put it here. I mean, this is what you can use. This is content. I think we need permission from Dustin.
He's the executive producer. I'm not doing something without his say so.
He's producing. This is what a producer does. He gives us content.
He puts a worm in your ear and you run with it.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
That's how it works.
That's a good one. It's a good one. They're just QB away.
I suggest all Seahawks fans, Lisa, with your Broncos brethren at work, you got to use that one.
Super solid.
Alex does say, I would love to hear that story. Okay, since we're 30 minutes in, we're celebrating this victory.
Yeah.
It's story time. Let's see.
Story time with Brandon.
How many years ago was it that Kasen Williams, former Seahawks wide receiver, former Huskies wide receiver, hometown hero and favorite, in the preseason, he was tearing it up. And I was hyping up Kasen Williams really hard. And I think this goes back to our Facebook Ring of Honor group, which, by the way, if you are watching right now, be sure you like us on YouTube, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that way you know whenever we go live.
Value for value, bitches.
Value. People coming in with the super chats, showing us the value for going live right now.
They're amazing.
And to continue the story, Alex, the people showing us value in the Ring of Honor group on Facebook, I was hyping up Kasen, although autocorrect wanted to keep changing Kasen to Karen, and which is why the flock there banded together. And because the spell check got me more than once on hyping up Kasen as Karen, the flock came and they got me this jersey. So there we go. And this was before Karen was a thing. And so now I have a jersey saying, like, I don't know if I have to get the wig, like the Karen wig, to go with it now. But this was before the whole Karen thing was even a thing.
I hadn't even thought about it in Karen terms, right? With that being now a
now
meme
I have
and
to
all
ask
that.
for the manager every time I go to the stadium. It's very tedious.
The hilarious part is that's the exact opposite of your personality. If you could, imagine the opposite, man. Like, you're the most cordial dude. Dustin, my man.
Kasen was so hot right then.
He surely was. See, now Alex knows. Yeah, it makes sense now, right? Kind of like this season. This season makes a lot more sense.
Yes, Carly, Dustin is one of our executive producers, and yes, so thank you to Dustin for coming in. Thanks to everybody for the super chats in this post game, and thanks to Amy. Amy, you're already a member of the flock, and now you're a YouTube member too. So this is Amy showing the value as well. So
absolutely,
thank you.
You guys are amazing,
so much.
And your faith in this team is legit, right? At this point, it feels that way.
Washington Fish Quest. And by the way, check out Washington Fish Quest. They've got a YouTube channel worth checking out, and a small donation for picking the Seahawks to win on What If. This is so sweet. Yes, I think we are across the board on picking wins in What If this week. Russ leaves to cook. 64-yard punt into the marine layer.
It was sweet.
And Jeff, thank you for the down payment on the annual contribution. So yes, this was great. thank you for everybody for tuning in after the game. It was a heck of a victory and oh so sweet getting it over our guy, Russell Wilson, and doing it in the way our Seahawks did.
Man, it's quintessential Seahawks football. There's no doubt about it. And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go catfishing, Hawks. Eat it, Broncos. Let's ride off into the distance with your catfish and L, you piece of catfish.
Wow. Go Hawks.